good morning. Welcome to Sunrise Daily. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
26 degrees Celsius in the nation's capital. Good morning and welcome to the program. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf.
So, quite a number of things. I know the aviation sector, they're still keeping tabs on whether or not they're going to, but are they really going to shut down? I'm still trying to figure.
Yes.
Because they say they are planning a shutdown this Thursday?
This Thursday, from what we understand, that there could be an aviation shutdown as a result of fuel hike. Don't forget that throughout last week, there was a meeting with the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo, over what is currently happening within the aviation sector. And they had said that if they could not get a resolution to their discussions, that they might be forced to shut down. And it does appear that they will be, maybe staging a sort of strike on Thursday this week. But we want to believe that there will be an intervention that will make that strike threat not hold. I also know that I'm seeing right here on the front page of Daily Trust that if stakeholders are currently seeking government intervention to save the 2026 Hajj. So quite a lot to look at in the aviation sector. In addition to, of course, looking at the proliferation of airports in Nigeria's aviation space. One of the things that we've seen in recent times is that a lot of state governments believe that one of the ways they're able to show their people that they're working, one of the dividends of democracy they are bringing to their the people of their state, is to build airports in the state, even if they have or they're in close proximity to another state that has a functional airport. One would have thought that these kinds of things, the kinds of things that you do for economic reasons, not because you're trying to show off. But clearly, it doesn't appear that a lot of people understand how these things are supposed to work. I don't know that, some people have made the argument that, let there be many airports. Well, why not? Every state should have its own. It does facilitate business. It makes tourism to the state easier, etc., etc. But when you look at what is currently happening within the aviation sector, I mean, the fact that even airlines are struggling to fly, passenger traffic is not exactly as high as would have been expected in some of these airports. And one of the things that we would have thought is that state governments would go and take a look at other states where this sort of example. So, for instance, as stated by our correspondent, Victoria Longjohn, who did a really good report on this instance, this proliferation that we're seeing, or some of the examples that she cited in her report, is the one that was started in Anambra State, the Chinua Achebe Airport. Never mind that I love Chinua Achebe, and I thought that an airport in his name was certainly worthy. But when you ask questions as to was it really justifiable, given that Asaba is how many minutes from Onitsha? And you can easily get, there was an airport already in Asaba. There were even questions as to the airport that was situated in Asaba, when you already have an airport in Edo. As a matter of fact, Delta State already had an airport in Osubi, even though it was not it's not a very big airport, it's more like an airstrip. But you have airports, so to speak, scattered all over the place, and there have been huge questions. Abuja here, we have a main international airport which is seeing traffic of over 1 million people per year, handling that much traffic. And then Nasarawa State, which is just nearby, already is also building an airport. Don't forget that before President Muhammadu Buhari left office, he commissioned a cargo airport, in quote. Now, Kogi State, which is just on the way to Gwagwalada, which is, one of the councils in the FCT, is also thinking of building its own airport. So there are deep questions to ask. Is it that we do not know what else to do with money? If they do not know, I'm sure that they can ask the citizens in their state. They will certainly tell them that airports is one of the least challenges that they face. Perhaps education, healthcare, even good roads within their community might make the list. But this, even education will be another place to pour in this sort of money that airports consume. Why the craze for airports? Chamberlain, I am still trying to understand, but certainly I believe that this report, which we'll play very soon, will bring the problem, or, will bring this to the fore, and I'm hoping that state executives can take a second look and ask themselves, are we really making sense by spending this amount of money on airports when we can actually do other things?
It just, it's a typology of the hydra-headed challenges that we're going through in this country, what we see in the aviation sector, because now they say that they've watched the price of Jet A1 go from over 300%.
You can imagine.
From February this year till now. And they say, look, the sellers of that product need to account for the sharp increases. And so the meeting that they were having with the Minister of Aviation, even though they are now 30% benefit,
discount,
how that translates to the ticketing remains to be seen. But apparently, it does appear as though it doesn't cut it for the operators in that particular sector. The aviation sector is riddled with many challenges. You see, the people couldn't even afford to shut down their cars or their businesses or their companies. And so the aviation, they know how they target those guys up there. So they know that if they do this, they will feel it. And so maybe that's why they're coming up with this, because you can imagine that even if they do something now, it will, I stand corrected, to be corrected, it will just come up at best to be a stopgap measure. It may not be a solution or permanent solution, a long-term solution, to say the least. But the thing about Nigeria's aviation crisis is not just about rising ticket prices or fuel cost. It's also about poor planning, as you've highlighted. Across the country, yes, we see those airports built in clusters competing for same passengers, the same airlines and the same limited traffic. Yes, we see that in Lagos as well. Yeah, Maritime Mohammed Airport and the new Gateway Airport in Ogun State, don't forget that. How about the proposed Lekki one? We need close range as well. And then if you go to the northwest, you see the same story. Yes, we see the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport alongside Katsina and Jigawa airports as well. And it's not just a strategy. It comes as though, I mean, people can clearly see this is just duplication. You know, airports are expensive to build, even more expensive to maintain. And when traffic is spread thin, they become weak, underutilized, and dependent on government support. And the airlines, they pay the price, operating across multiple low-demand routes while aviation fuel, as they complain, has skyrocketed. Now, who knows how much it is now? Some say, what, 3,500 naira per liter? Well, the result, higher ticket fares, and now this threat of flight shutdown this Thursday, if they stick to their plans. But there's something that we're looking to see. How will they address this? Because there are also deeper challenges in that sector. Not even talk about passengers. Do they actually care about passengers? Do they compensate passengers? Do they talk about... I mean, many of you, your stories are replete with how you might have missed your flight and the reasons. So technical reason here and there, flight delays, sometimes they postponing, no apology.
And that's happening more now as a result of the jet fuel shortage.
And who's holding them accountable? You wonder, where is the NCA when you need them? Where are the passengers' bill of rights that they say was supposed to be pasted at the airport for everybody to see that if your flight is delayed, you're supposed to be compensated as and when due? It's only maybe if FCCPC coming to rescue the people, and then sometimes they take them to court. But, well, FCCPC, keep doing what you're doing when you're fighting for the people. They see you. So at least you're leaving your footsteps in the sands of time. And that's how agencies that look out for people should function. If not, why are you there in the first place? Well, here's a little piece of highlighting some of these things that we've talked about here and what needs to be corrected.
Air travel remains one of the fastest means of transportation, but in Nigeria, passenger traffic tells a different story. With over 30 airports nationwide, industry data shows that only a handful handle the bulk of passenger movement, leaving many others underutilized, yet state governments continue to build more. A closer look at these state-owned airports reveals a pattern of proximity without demand. Many of these airports are located less than 2 hours away from existing ones, raising concerns about duplication of infrastructure. In Anambra State, The Chinua Achebe International Cargo Airport in Umueri was commissioned with high expectations as a cargo hub for the southeast. But years after the launch, operations remained limited.
There's no plane, no enough planes, no enough aircraft that is landing there. And that is the problem of the airport. So I want to beg the governor of Anambra State to call on these aircraft owners to see what they can do to bring in more aircraft to be flying from Chinua Achebe International Cargo Airport, Umueri.
About 50 kilometers from Umueri is the Asaba International Airport in Delta State. Authorities consider it a key aviation hub despite its proximity to similar facilities in Owerri and Port Harcourt.
One of the few states who actually embarked on concessioning the airports, and we concessioned into Asaba International Airport Group. Part of the larger plan is to also develop the cargo aspect. Asaba has been designated as a cold room, international cold room in this area, and that's why all the ratings that we have, all the facilities that we have are geared towards that.
Meanwhile, the airport is about 126 kilometers to the Benin airport, raising questions about customer traffic and long-term sustainability, especially because of the cost of maintaining such facilities.
For like 3
All right, we're going to get more reactions concerning the Ibadan declaration by opposition parties outlining plans to challenge what they describe as threats to multi-party democracy ahead of the 2027 election. So we're joined this morning by Fabiola Dimeji, Deputy National Financial Secretary of the ADC. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
So, well, how feasible is this plan by the opposition to have a single presidential candidate? Of course, I know the party knows, they know it's going to be challenging. You think they can navigate and make sure that happens?
We're already there.
Already there?
We're already there.
How?
It will surprise, we will shock the APC and will surprise Nigerians. Let me tell you this trajectory. When ADC, the coalition idea was, first came up, the APC, they were saying, there were two things they were saying. They were telling people, it will not last for 3 months. After that 3 months, they said, 6 months. You see, they will soon use it laugh. After this, they said, let's give them 1 year. How many? We're almost 2 years now. The planning and everything, where we are now. Then they left that when they couldn't achieve that. They said, Atiku, Peter Obi can never sit together. You can never see Kwakwanso and Atiku together. You can never see this and this. And where are we today? Those are signs that times have changed, things have changed. The good thing is that the people, the individuals that you see, and they have resolved that this is all about Nigeria and it's not about them. It's about Nigeria, it's not about them. That is the coffee the APC is yet to smell. That now, it's not about these individuals. I was listening to their spokesperson, Felix Moka, saying what they have to offer. He kept repeating. And I said, it's like this guy is not smelling the coffee yet. You can't take the experience of these people away. At one time or the other, they've been in government, and they've made impact, no matter how bad you think it is. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Lagos, he didn't do well, but there are things he did that you can still reference today. The same way you see, you find with all of these people here. You can't take it away from Kwankwaso, his achievement in Kano. You can't take it away from Peter Obi, his achievement in Anambra. You can't take it away from Merufai, what he did in FCT and in Kaduna. Peter Obi didn't borrow money recklessly, and he built schools, he built roads. You can't take it away from someone like Atiku, who was the chairman of he was the chairman of Privatization Council. He was next chairman and all that. You could see the economy under his tutelage. The highest GDP growth ever in the history of this country. Okay. You can't take it away all the revolutionary, achievement they made.
So the thing is this.
Yes.
For the presidential ticket.
Yes.
That's where the focus is, right?
Yes.
So assuming that works out.
Yes.
What happens when whoever becomes or gets that ticket goes to a state where one of those other parties have their candidate who maybe he's going for the House of Reps and he has his loyalists there? Is he going to be party to raising the hand of another political party because he'll say, no, will I not lose my own local votes?
Chamberlain. All of these are going to be worked out. In fact, it has been worked out already. I don't want...
They don't seem to get that message because I spoke with a number of them. They feel that they don't have that message yet.
Let me tell you. The first thing is, what is that thing that brings all of us together? Is it about your individual ambition? No. It's about the country. It's about the party. It's about how do we rescue this country. That is the meeting point. And everybody is beginning to key into that.
Which party?
ADC. It's about the party ADC. It's about the country.
You know, I have to ask that question. A number of people will argue that what your party, and I think that's one of the things that's still a bone of contention for the people that you met in the party. They believe that you just came to take over a party. You cannot just all of a sudden be loyal to a party that's
not true.
A few months ago they were not members of. All of a sudden they are now members of this party and they are pledging full loyalty.
That is not true. The only person that is making claim to that is Nafiu Bala, and Supreme Court will tell him where he belongs in the next couple of days. No other person. Let me tell you how many states, as far as ADC is concerned today, the 36 states plus FCT, the structures you find there are the ones under the leadership of David Mark, not under Nafiu Bala. Because you said people came. I wanted to make. You said people and said we did that. That was not what happened. That's exactly what I'm telling you. The only person that is talking today is that young man. Tell me any other person that you seen that said no. And we know why he's saying that.
So Kachuku doesn't matter.
Kachuku has been expelled from the party. That one does not even have locus. I don't like this.
Honorable Lekki Abejide doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You know why I asked? He's the only person who has been elected on the platform of the ADC as a political party.
And he has been expelled.
He has been expelled
by the NEC, by the convention. So as far as we are concerned today, we don't even want to discuss him because he's not a member of our party.
So the only person who has won elections on the party platform doesn't matter.
Which election? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. He has been expelled for anti-party activities. You can't be in our party. This is exactly what killed PDP, and you think you can be recasted as that? It's not going to be allowed. David Mark is a disciplined leader.
I don't think anybody's trying to
If I misbehave tomorrow, they will fire me, no matter how much I think important I am.
I don't think anybody's trying to impugn the integrity of David Mark, but this is somebody who has been in the PDP from its inception, who has led this country as Senate President for 8 years. On the platform of the PDP. Yes. Now he's gone to a new party. I think this happened last year. New members have joined this party. As I think one of the recent converts to the party is Rabiu Musa Kwankwan. So who had his own party, the NNPP. He left that platform to join the ADC. I think the difference people are trying to point out is that there's been no organic growth as you would normally see with another, maybe if you have started with a fresh or registered a fresh political party. So they're wondering, can you really say that this is a political party in every sense of the word, or this is just, as the APC was described, an SPV, a special purpose vehicle?
ADC is a political party. Let me tell you how we started, so that you can appreciate what we've done. A few months ago, we embarked on membership registration and revalidation exercise. Even we had to work with the time of the demand of INEC that we must submit the list of our registered members. If we don't have it, because we talked about organic, I don't know what you mean by that.
How many do you have now?
In thousands, in millions across the state. Registration. You see what happened in the north, see what happened in the south.
But it's not up to 6 million.
It doesn't have to be up to 6 million. See, people that are registered party card members are not usually much. It's the Nigerian citizens that vote. The numbers when that time PDP was claiming they have 15 million members, it was not true. We are less than 5 million members And during the election, you see 20-something million people voting for PDP. That's how it is in all the party. In my state, the registration of APC, they only registered 16,000.
So it is inflated.
So that's exactly what I mean. My state. So
what
are we talking about?
If it was inflated in the past, we can take it to the bank that this new registration has been inflated as well.
I don't know, but for my party, I know we didn't inflate anything because we submitted what we registered within the time frame to INEC. That's all we did. And today, so if anybody is talking of organic, I think ADC, the city drove. Now, the icing on the cake would be, and look at what APC just did now. Even they said consensus. Why are they not going back to direct primaries? Because they knew the implication. Because they couldn't drive it upon all the infrastructure they said they had for direct primary. They couldn't consensus, they couldn't achieve it. So, in other words, it means when you know how to dribble too much, at some point you dribble yourself. That's what's happening to APC now. See them running up and down. They are carrying lots of baggages on their heads right now. ADC is giving them sleepless nights. They are working day and night to destroy ADC and other opposition.
I don't know. Have you seen the papers today? Because I don't know if you've taken a look at the front pages. I'm taking a look at the front page of The Guardian, and I believe, which other daily now is carrying that story? About 2 of them have that story. NDC offers Obi Kwankwanso joint presidential ticket. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. It's part of the politics. Do you understand? It's part of it. It's allowed. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's allowed. NDC is the new party that we found on the INEC portal through court order. Anything can still happen. Anybody, let me just leave that matter.
But you said that
they are trying to. It's like boss. It's like a computer. You call passengers into your boss so that you can make money, isn't it? So that you can have sales.
But you have challenges too, because I mean, for instance, Shawara said he declined that opposition summit. He says Nigerians deserve.
Was he invited?
Yeah, he said he was invited.
He was invited.
And then he declined it.
And then it was his choice.
Well, look at his reason. He says there's no need to pretend that the same men and the few women who held Nigeria to ransom for years, presiding over stagnation, corruption, and systemic decay, can suddenly reinvent themselves as champions of progress.
That has always been his view. What is he offering new? If he wants to go solo, let him go solo. The people that believes that all opposition must come together, you couldn't tell me that they have not done well. If you don't want to join them, it's your choice. So for me, Shawara's brand of politics is still like student union politics. It's not the real politics that we play in this country. So it's his choice. So
which one is the real one? The one ADC is doing right now?
That is it. Because we need to rescue this country. Let me tell you. And I'm happy now that PDP, whichever faction you call it, has now risen. I don't know why they find it difficult to acknowledge the fact that there is a man in this country that understands this game.
So that's
2023, listen.
It's only about the presidential ticket.
Please, not
and everybody is saying, look,
when
what is the need for all the other people?
No. When that place is settled, the others will settle. There are rules, there are guidelines. There are electoral law, there are party guidelines. All of those ones will not even disturb. That is the biggest ticket. In 2023, Atiku invited, because of his vision, the leadership of PDP and said, let us provide leadership for all the opposition in the country. And they came out and said, no. See where we are today. That is the power of vision. He said, no, we cannot. We need a repeat of 2014. But I'm happy that they're able to come back together for the sake of this country. So the issue of who takes what will be sorted. It's about tendencies, about addressing the interest of each tendencies, which these guys are experienced enough to know how to address, and they will address it. Chamberlain, I want the media to really follow what we are doing in the ADC keenly and give us the credit for it.
Credit? That just reports what happens.
I'm just telling you, they should give us credit for it. In this country, in the last couple of months, we saw how some governors left their party to go into APC. Are they telling us because the president has done so well? No. And these guys on this other hand, on the other side, came together and said, no, we're not going to do this for this country. It's not about us. I think came out and said, whoever emerges, I will support. Or Amechi came out and said, whoever emerges, I will support. The only person I'm still expecting to make his own statement is Peter Obi. We are waiting to make that commitment. That is the commitment. In the spirit of...
That whoever emerges, he will support?
Yes!
Is it that he doesn't think he's going to emerge, so he knows the game plan already?
I don't know, but I'm sure he's going to say that in the next couple of hours or couple of days, because we need him to make the commitment to... He's a frontliner in the...
But even if he makes the commitments, how do you guarantee his supporters who say, no, if he doesn't get it well, we'll just go elsewhere?
Then it's left for him and his supporters. If you cannot read them in, then too bad. Too bad. Can his supporters alone make him president? Can Atiku supporters alone make him president? Can Amici supporters alone make him president? That's what we're talking about, this convergence. What happened in Ibadan was the convergence of excellence. It was a convergence to how do I call it? Rescue Nigeria, to rescue this country. So you have to give it to them. Somebody must lead the charge.
I agree with you. I mean, a lot of Nigerians will certainly say, for us to really have democracy, we must have choice. Because that's what a democracy is about. It's not about, there's just one choice and you are forced to go with that choice. So certainly a lot of people will be saying this is a good step in the right direction if the opposition parties are able to come together and provide a viable alternative, to the current. But there are a few things that the main party now have taken exception to, such as the statement by the current governor of Oyo State. They've taken him to task. I mean, it's on all the front pages. They wrote an entire statement. The statement is titled, "Inciting Violence. Governor Makinde, you are unworthy of the office you occupy." I'm sure you've seen that.
I've seen, but don't mind them. Don't mind. They did more than that when we were looking for power in 2014. Don't mind them. Did Jonathan stop them? What has changed? Makinde said that, but let me further to that. They said it was a threat to national. It's not true. The guy was only referencing what may likely be the outcome of the actions of this government. This government is reckless. And they don't think about Nigerians. It's just about them. Let me tell you. In the First Republic, what's scattered for the First Republic? Because of things like this. MPC controls the entire northern hemisphere, and they went the devil into south, and that was what killed our republic. MPN did the same thing.
I'm going to read to you what they said, and I think that this is what I'm underlined. They said Makinde's violent rhetoric cannot be dismissed as a mere opposition posturing, which is what you're saying it is. His statement risks fueling anarchy, murderous rage, and widespread lawlessness capable of undermining national stability. We therefore call on all relevant security intelligence agencies to take these unfortunate developments seriously and act to safeguard lives, property, and defend Nigeria's democratic order.
Well, I don't know why they are so afraid. I don't know why they are hiding this under national security. It's nothing national security. The governor made a statement as he deemed fit because he knew.
Do you support this statement? Do you support it? I support it because it wasn't calling for. He didn't say Nigerians tomorrow carry firearms and start creating problems. He said, guys, this may likely be the consequences of this action. I'm just telling you. The same scenario happened in 20. It's not a threat of violence. APC did more than that in 2014. Bring it back. So we shouldn't do that. It's a country that is not strong.
They had to play politics with it. I just told you, we had this similar experience then in the First Republic. This was what brought down that republic. It was only sounding a note of warning. That's the way I see it. It wasn't any threat to national security.
So, what plan does, now we don't know what to call it. Okay, all opposition groups coming together now. Yes. How is the primaries going to be for the ADC, for instance? Will it be direct?
All of us should be happy that we have these people pushing for this. Honestly, democracy will be gone before we know it if we don't do all of these things. The issue of primaries, I tell you, there are guidelines, there are rules in the party that manage that. Those rules will manage it. Those rules will manage it. Not even with the kind of leadership we have in the party now. Raouf Aregbesola, all of these people, David Mark, they are no nonsense people. They have the track record. So what they want is, let us play by the rules. I can't sit here and be telling you
that the rules, internal rules that you come up with.
Let us stick with it.
So what is going to be the main or some of the main factors that the party will be looking to see in terms of who they want to get that ticket?
There are quite a number of things that are going to be looked into, whether we are going into consensus or we are going for direct primaries. Good enough, one or two presidential aspirants have said they'll prefer direct primaries. So if consensus is not achieved, we go into it, and there are rules guiding direct primaries. We will develop our own in line with the Electoral Act. And that's why I tell you that Nigeria should be happy that ADC is coming, because we are going to do a lot of things very differently. Look at the gap, the widening gap between...
But you're not zoning the tickets to any region.
The party has not made any statement on that. And for me, I don't think they should do that. I'm not an apostle of zoning. I'm an apostle of merit and capacity. There's no...
Why? Because they'll say let it go to the south.
Because the opposition... Let me hear now. Opposition has no business talking about zoning.
Why not?
They don't have business. It's the ruling government. In 2014, why didn't they talk about zoning? Why didn't Tinubu come out and contest against Jonathan? He wouldn't have done that. So for me, and now let me ask this question. Zoning is not even the priority for Nigerians. It's not. Chamberlain, zoning is just a political gimmick to advance selfish interest, political selfish interest. Let me tell you, it's just a political gimmick. Okay, let me ask this question again. When Minister Wike was running for PDP party primary ticket, was he talking about zoning? He was talking about it. But
was it not part of the government who said it must go to the south?
Wait now. But when did it become louder? When he lost.
So that means he spoke about it, but only what? You thought it became louder?
Louder. So the question now is, had Atiku picked him over Okowa, will he have been louder?
Well,
will he have been talking about that? Now, what I'm saying about zoning is that how many people have you seen on the streets protesting because of zoning? Let us look at it, let us look at it objectively. I'm just being objective here. How many? When you see any protest, it's about hunger, it's about insecurity, it's about unemployment. So not about zoning. So they should stop telling us that Nigeria, which Nigerians is this elite who wants to use it to satisfy their own selfish
even though your party too, they will use it whichever one works for them. If they say no zoning, it's for their own interest. If they say zoning, it's for their own interest.
Party will do what to make it win, not an individual interest.
All right, so as we wind down on this one, if they are to consider electability and votes,
yes, it
comes to reason that maybe they'll look at the last elections and say, okay, who are those that got how many millions of votes? So it's going to be between who? Atiku, Peter Obi. That's going by the statistics. Does that matter to the party?
Of course it matters. It matters. We have to look at the numbers. And that's why I support those from some quarters that say, no, Atiku and Obi will do the magic. Now Kwakwanso has joined. The total number of votes of these three people was about 14-15 million. So, and Mr. President just got 8 million. Okay, let's go into election with these three people coming together. That's what people are saying. Even Kwakwanso and Obi cannot give us the number. I'm sorry to say this one. The best number is Atiku and Obi. But it's left for them to decide, the leadership of the party to decide.
So, whichever of those two gets the ticket, all the other people will rally.
Everybody already is a commitment they've made, because it's not about them. Yeah, but that's what I want the followers of Obi to understand, that it's not about him.
So
it's about the country. It's about taking over it's about returning the country to the owner.
So
Nigeria,
I know that the VP has said whoever gets it, he will support.
Who?
Will he? The VP, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar.
He has made it abundantly clear that
so if they say you be vice to Obi, will he agree?
How can he be? He has been there before. He doesn't have to go there. He would rather leave it. He has been vice president. The next for him is the president.
That speaks volumes. Okay.
Yes, it's enough. He has been vice president. Why we want to return him back to the place? President Jonathan offered him, he didn't collect in 2019 or 2015 or so. So why would he not collect?
The president to get or nothing?
That is the next thing in line. That's why does Obi want to be president? Because he has only been vice presidential candidate. He felt the next thing is what? Why is Amechi wants to be? Because he said, I've been governor, I've been minister. What is that for me is either vice or president. It's logical. This is the way it is.
All right, Fabio Olademeji, Deputy National Finance Secretary, ADC. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're back in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. So as opposition parties strategize, new developments are emerging. So now we'll turn our attention to the SDP. We've got Prince Adewale Adebayo. He was the presidential candidate of the party in the last general elections. Good morning. Thank you for coming on.
Good morning, Chamberlain. And Mark, good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
God bless Nigeria.
Amen.
Yeah. So where is SDP in all of this coalition movement?
There's no coalition movement yet. There are only discussions by Nigerians on the need to get rid of the bad government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's the only consensus we have. And it's not based on party. It's based generally on the welfare and state of the nation. Even APC members may not be in the fashion of speaking out, but I don't think they will even vote for President Tinubu. So there's a general consensus.
APC members, you said?
They will not. You know, they do everything at gunpoint now, but no gunpoint in the ballot box. So the general consensus is that we need good government, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not providing it, and all Nigerians agree. Beyond that, there's no agreement yet.
Can I ask you, and this is me just asking, I mean, not as a Nigerian that has not been affected by economic upheavals, but generally asking as, you know, in terms of the general, what exactly would you say is the main thrust of the discontent that other political parties feel against the main contender right now, the ruling party?
The grounds of the political parties, at least I can speak for the SDP, is just a mirror of the grounds of Nigerians. I personally have nothing against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I wish him well in his retirement, which is due next year. But we're tired of burying people in this country. We're tired of burying generals killed by touts. We're tired of people being made poor, even though they're working harder than they've ever been. I'm tired of people having 2 master's degrees and driving Uber and crying at the end of the day. So we don't want a country where we're in darkness and the president ran away from us to go and give himself solar power for himself.
But
this is the grounds, so it's nothing personal.
So, but many of these people who are in the opposition, they were part of the problem we are facing today. Many of them across different parties.
We're not in SDP. You can name one person and I will leave the studio for you and I will never come back. Nobody in SDP is involved in that. What I can tell you is that in the opposition, so-called, we're trying to win things out. Why it's difficult to have immediate consensus, as Nigerians have it already. Why it's difficult for political class is that there are a lot of people who, to all intents and purposes, and to be honest, are worse than Tinubu, who are now pushing themselves in front. So our attitude is to always tell them, you are helping President Tinubu by showing your face. Because if you are saying the kettle is black and the pot is the one saying it, people are going to say, where is your sense of humor? This is the problem.
So who would you like not to show his or her face?
Anybody who has been in government before. And
at what level?
At any level.
Either president, governor,
whatever level, National Assembly.
So what will be left of this opposition?
No. You see, let me understand something clearly. And I hope the media doesn't have a tunnel vision about opposition. Opposition is not an association of former office holders. Opposition is anyone who has organized a group together with alternative ideas and alternative principles different from the one the government of the day is practicing and failing.
Even though they might have practiced it before and it didn't work.
No. Well, let us get it clear. Those who are in Nigerian politics are conservative and they don't change their policies. But they can change their verbiage depending on whether they are employed or unemployed. The most dangerous person in the country is an unemployed politician. Because he's so restless, he's anxious to get back to power, so he will say anything. But there are Nigerians who consistently over time have spoken about the need for us to fight corruption, about the need for us to fight all kinds of ethical gaps in our government, or the need for us to be more efficient, or the need for us to be more honest, or the need for us to spend the money on the people. So those ones, there are plenty in Nigeria. And what we are trying to do now is to transform them from being mere social critics or analysts into active organizers in politics. But the old order, the reserve bench of the incumbents,
who are not now engaged by the present government will always come and interject and put themselves in front. And we always tell them the change Nigerians are looking for now is not a change of personality, it's not a barber's chair. We are trying to change the entire paradigm and the principles surrounding our government because it's not working.
Are they buying it?
It's for Nigerians to buy it. You can't stop a habitual contender from contending. You can't stop politicians who made all their fortune and the entire
but shouldn't they be the ones to buy it first? Because after they buy it, then they present what they have to the Nigerians.
That's not how our constitution is written. Our constitution is written that power comes from the people. And
for voting, but the constitution also says it's a party that presents the candidates.
No, well, let's just take it one by one. If you are talking about the principle surrounding your politics, even the constitution is supposedly written by the people. So the people have said what they want in their government and who they want in government. Now, every 4 years, they have to renew it. So my focus is, there's nothing wrong with President Tinubu that was not already wrong with the way the voters voted last time. So the only way I can use my little energy that I have is not trying to change politicians. They can never change. I've interacted with them, I hold meetings with them. They don't want to change. They like the system when they are in power. When they're not in power, they don't like it. And I can't spend all my time criticizing them. All I can do is go back to the Nigerian people and say, you need to replace your political class because you don't have any. Because the characteristics of a political class is that they must be thinking, they must be organizing, they must have principles, they must have minimum requirements for you to join, they must have certain rules that even your party will kick you out. So there are allegations you can make against me today that immediately SDP will tell me step down. So they don't have any of that. So you need to raise a new political class. And if you don't raise it, you will wait 20 years, you will see how to do it. Until Nigerians come together, raise a new political class and say, okay, this is a new political class. They have ethics, they have principles, they have certain commonalities that government money is for the public. You cannot be a thief and be walking around majestically. But you have opposition putting renowned thieves on high table. And you have the government allowing thieves to be forgiven if they cross to their own party. So the two sides of the political class does not favor the people. Mm-hmm. So the argument is, remember the Christmas kitchen argument, where one housewife will say, the best way to eat chicken is to fry it. And the other one will say, no, the best way to eat it is to barbecue it. None of them is a friend of the chicken. So both the people who are now incumbents and those who want to replace them as part of the class, they are not in the interest of the people. So we need to bring the people into the room, and people should stop waiting for politicians to save them. They should start to say, let us organize people. Look at a ward where 500 votes, 2,000 votes can make a councillor. Our people lack the ability to organize 2,000 people to elect a councillor. They don't show interest. So from that level onwards, you are talking of federal government. Have you gone to the states? Some of your states where the speaker kneels down to talk to the governor, where the entire state assembly will be waiting in the first lady's waiting room for Ajia or Madam to come out. So we have lost our ability to instruct our government what to do, because intellectually, philosophically, we don't want to be responsible. We are assuming that the government is coming from the sky.
How specifically would you want the people to do what you're asking them to?
What I want them to do is first to recognize that the highest and most respected office in Nigeria is office of citizen. So you will do three things as a citizen. One, you have to be conscious of the laws of your country and be in the attitude to obey it. Second, you have to have a sense of responsibility that if I am given a civic right to choose leaders, I will not sell my vote and I will not be irresponsible. Thirdly, that those who are in government, I will hold them responsible. And to do that, you have to join political parties, or at least let political parties know that I'm watching you, whatever you do in this place, we're going to vote you out. But when you get to that stage where there is no people anymore, where the democracy is missing, only the crazy is left. And the crazies are the politicians, the demo are the people, and if the people are silent, then the crazy have it.
Let me take you back to the grounds which you say that the political parties have, which is, you say, is the same grounds that Nigerians have. You enumerated them as security, economic issues, and of course infrastructure.
Yes.
Security, we have been at this now, at least the one that has plagued the country in such a way that people have found it difficult to go to certain parts. I think this journey started in 2009, and government in, government out, we have been told how they're going to address this issue, how they're going to make sure it comes to an end. But what we have seen over the years is that this problem has only gotten worse. And there are fundamental questions to ask as to whether this is it a lack of will? Is it a lack of organization? Is it a lack of understanding of what the problem is? But over the years, what would you say you see, apart from, let's say, that willingness to say, well, whatever it is, a political party or the president or the leadership should take responsibility for it. But do you think that this has just been in such a way now that a political party cannot just come and tell Nigerians, don't worry, we'll bring an end to this, without truly understanding what exactly the issue is as we speak?
The issue is very straightforward. It's not simple, but straightforward. It's issue of lack of governance. The only thing that survives in Nigeria is there are things that can survive by nature. If you give birth to a baby boy or a baby girl, if they keep eating and drinking, they will grow up. But any role that government has to play in their life will fail, like education, healthcare, and all of that. If you have a bush path, if people keep working on it, the bush path will remain. But if you build a road which requires government to maintain, that road will go bad. The problem with security is that you have to be a government that has governance and that you are in territorial integrity exists. The thinking of President Tinubu does not go beyond the villa or his private jet that takes him to France. So if you come and govern the country physically, you use the instrument of state to govern the country, the insecurity we have will disappear. There's nothing magical about it. Anywhere vigilante, anybody has done something sustainable about insecurity, it has disappeared. So if we require now, for example, have the permission of government and they allow them to organize and resist these people who are killing them, those people will run away because they too are not fond of dying.
Right.
The problem is that the government is doing three things that it shouldn't do and leaving three things it should do. One, the government is using the security as an excuse to waste your money. So they have now become, wittingly or unwittingly, partners in retrogression with the bandits. Secondly, they are using it to campaign for elections rather than find solutions to it. Thirdly, they are lying to the people about the state of the security. Those are the three things they shouldn't be doing. The three things they should be doing is, one, have you heard them calling a security summit in Nigeria, when they call Council of State or call any of these things, and giving benchmark what must be done, what must be done. If you don't do it, I will remove you. No service chief has ever lost his job because of certain instruction given to him or mandate given to him I didn't do. At the time, President Buhari was laughing that he had sent Chief of Army Staff to go to the front. And he was laughing that he discovered that 3 months later they hadn't gone there. And he was laughing. So, the President Tinubu is choosing service chiefs, head of security, without you being able to see that he has anything for them other than his personal political survival.
All right.
The second thing we are not doing is that we are not rejigging the security architecture to give community. I'm telling you what I am told when I go to Agwa, Rukuba and all those places, to allow the leaders of the community to have a direct access to government. When you know that people have written you a letter or you have seen some sign that people want to kill you, they started amassing, and you are telling the government and the government is not doing anything. Thirdly, they have refused to allow us to have a proper police force that will behave like the police in the time of MD Yusuf, Kapsalem, and all that time. What they have now are decorated personal guards following them all over the place.
So, one more thing before you go. Are you happy with INEC's recognition of Shehu Gabam as SDP chairman?
It's not relevant. INEC is being mischievous. You see, the problem with INEC is that they cannot resist the temptation to put their hand in the internal affairs of the party. It is by law. There's nothing in the Constitution of Nigeria, Electoral Act, any regulation or constitution of any party that says that you become chairman of a party if INEC puts you on their website. It's not relevant. We understand that they did it because one of our senators wanted to cross on Friday to leave SDP and go to APC. And he's been struggling with it. They've made him their governorship candidate in Nasarawa State, and he doesn't know what excuse to give. So I saw Senate President Fabio reading, saying, oh, you are leaving because of leadership tussle in your party. Is that correct? So, and we were laughing. Where is the leadership tussle? Next minute, we saw that they have put the Sheikh Gabab's name on the website. We're not going to react to that.
Which senator is that? Which senator is that?
Ali Wadada. Oh, yeah. So, if they want to take Wadada, they can take Wadada. We don't care about that. It is the people of his constituency who voted him on the SDP ticket. If they are happy with him crossing and taking the mandate to go and give to a non-performing party, it's their choice.
So you will not challenge what INEC has done?
It's irrelevant to us because the only thing is that they may go to prison if they keep saying based on court order. So we've written to them a polite letter to Mr. Mupitan. You are a senior advocate of Nigeria. Can you give us a copy of the court order? Because if there's a court order that says we should put him back, we'll be the first to put him back because we are law abiding. But where is the court order? If there is no court order, go and get the ICT man who put it there to put it back. But in our constitution, in the Electoral Act, in everything we do not derive the appointment of our party officials from INEC website. So they can go and put Obi of Nnewi as the chairman of SDP on their website. It's not relevant to me. What is important is that INEC is a national institution that must not lose credibility because it is a problematic thing. If INEC doesn't have any credibility at all, it will make people to say, okay, this is a useless organization, there's no point me participating in the election, anything. So we want to assure Nigerians that we will tackle INEC, it doesn't disturb us, and we are not going to spend the energy we are using to challenge the bad government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are not going to use it to start attacking INEC. However bad the referee is, if you are a good player, you don't go and kick the referee because FIFA will throw you out. So you kick the ball. So we are focused on the ball. And by January this year, Nigerians will join the SDP to remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the presidency so that we can have a chance to run a good government for this country. That's where we are focused.
Prince Adewale Adebare, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, and may God bless Nigeria.
That wraps it up today as well on the program. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Usof. Goodbye.
Thank you. I'm Maope Ogun Yusuf. On top of the hour is Business Morning.